welcome to Miracle English Language and Literature Institute. I'm Professor Abha Sharma. This session is dedicated to the discussion of literary theory. I've already made one video and this is the next in the series. Do go and watch that for the introduction and for new criticism. Here we will continue with the discussion of new criticism and the new critics attached with it. I already told you that now we will only be discussing the text, the internal unity, the central unity of the text. All these new critics were influenced by Coleridge, Henry James, Ezra Pound, I.A. Richards, and they were led by T.S. Eliot. And there were many others who brought up new concepts, added new concepts to the literary theory. T.S. Eliot, the head of the band, I should say, was also much influenced by Donne and the metaphysical poets. He was not much in favor of Milton. He liked that intelligent sensibility which was added by Donne. And he gave the concept of objective correlative. The metaphysicals could find a correlative in this metaphysical world for their emotions. And when you extend that emotion and the content is still there and you balance the both, then the Ellen Tate's theory of tension comes in. That the extension and intention. Tension has 2 points. One is extension. Extension means you're extending the emotion with the objective correlative of something, of any entity of the metaphysical world. And the intent, that is the content, is well balanced. It doesn't go out of limit and it maintains the interest of the reader. So Alan Tate, one of the new critics, has given the theory of tension. Then Kenneth Brooks, he talks about denotation and connotation. Now, denotation means the dictionary meaning and connotation means the contextual meaning. Many people look for meanings in the dictionary when they read novel or so, but then the meaning in the dictionary won't give you the complete sense until and unless the word is read in the context. So, in literary theory, we are not bothered about the surface meaning, that is the denotation, but we are more concerned with the internal meaning. Now, when the new critics, they talked about different notions of irony, of paradox, of pun. You know what? A text is spoken by a persona. That is the narrator. And that persona has an attitude. And that attitude has a tone. And that tone can be ironic, paradoxical, ambiguous, or straightforward. So, the new critics tried to find out these different features inside the text. Suppose if we talk about irony, I would quote 4 lines from Gray's elegy written in Country Churchyard. Can storied urn or animated burst back to its mention called the fleeting breath? Can honor's voice provoke the silent dust, or flattery soothe the dull cold ear of death? This is written in such an ironic tone. The person is dead and people are praising him, making animated or life-size statues, or making beautiful urns to keep their remains, are soothing with flattery. Is it necessary? Will it do any good to the dead man? Will it bring him back to life? No, it's of no use. So this irony is there. William Emerson, in his book, The 7 Kinds of Ambiguity, talks about the sentences being ambiguous because of puns, because of ambiguous similes or metaphors which the people are unable to understand because of the complexity of the text. There are many things that the text becomes difficult for the readers to comprehend. One of the critics, Joel Spingram, said, "Art is the expression of life." And criticism is the study of that expression. And this man was called anti-historic. He did not believe that history has any part to play while discussing the internal unity of a text. Then you have Kenneth Burke. He was more influenced by the Freudian psychology, and he said that the text should have the form which should satiate the reader psychologically. The reader should find it interesting according to his side. So the form of the text should be made in such. Form is the only content. The new critics believed that form was everything. And in this form, they incorporated irony, paradox, ambiguity. Another critic, John Crow Ransom, Thunder Without God. He was the writer of Thunder Without God, a text in that he says, "Science is the mother of all abuse, not poetry. Science is deceptive. It sees the things in the surface, therefore it is thin, whereas poetry looks towards the inner meaning and it is thick. Poetry has much truth than science." So again, he also behaved in the same manner as new critics. Ransom talked about the texture and the structure of the poem. He said that the structure, that is the form, is important as well as the texture. We see texture in everything. Texture is that smoothness, that crude form which is there, which makes the tension, the extension, intention, the irony, paradox, all balanced. All these new critics, they emphasized on close reading. And in French, it is called explication du texte. Close reading, again, means the same. Exclude all the external entities like biography or historical or psychological or anything which is concerned with the poet and the text. Only the internal meanings should be there. The two Russian critics, the Roman Jacobson and Victor Shloversky, they were also in the favor of the form, and they initiated the theory of formalism. They made the stone more stonier. There's another critic, Your Winters. He said that only entertainment or pleasure should not be the end of poetry. There should be something more to it, and that can only be truth. Poetry invokes the truth. Poetry takes the reader towards the truth. So, we finished with Kenneth Burke, Clement Brooks, Your Winters, John Crow Ransom, Alan Tate, along with I.A. Richards, who wrote The Practical Criticism and the Meaning of Meaning, T.S. Eliot, who wrote Metaphysical Poets and Tradition and Individual Talent. So let's finish up with new criticism here, because new criticism takes the form into consideration, and form will lead to structuralism. So in our next video, we would be discussing structuralism. Till then, keep in touch, take care, and do not forget to press the like button and do subscribe this channel for more and more interesting literature. Goodbye. Thank you so much. See you.